38-25, Ohio State over Penn State. Let's get into it. 38-25, Ohio State comes out on top against Penn State. Great team win. Domination on both sides of the ball from the defense and offensive line. The front seven for the Ohio State defense was incredible in that first half. They pretty much dominated the game and answered a lot of questions that people were bringing up after the Nebraska game about how's this offensive line really? How's this defensive line really? Should we be worried? I think they answered those questions and then some. Was a little strange. Penn State's strategy in the first half, kind of going straight QB draw, a lot of design quarterback runs, and Ohio State was ready for it. I don't think they threw it outside the numbers maybe once in that first half, and then they try to get Freiermuth involved on a few like out routes. It was really odd. The game plan was at first for Penn State, but the flip side of that, Ryan Day calling a beautiful, basically the whole game. The game plan was incredible, coming out with those jet sweeps and that motion, getting Garrett Wilson going, kind of just throwing Penn State for a loop there. And you come out, you score 3 plays, the first 3 plays of the game kind of gets them on their heels. So the game plan was great. Ohio State, what more can you say about Justin Fields? The guy's incredible. He's on another level right now the way he's playing. He's just seeing the field really well. He's pinpoint accuracy, knows where he wants to go with it, makes the right plays, and hat tip to that offensive line where he was not touched. I know Penn State got that one really big sack kind of at the end there where they blitzed all the way to the left side, but no pressures allowed from the left or the right tackle, which is big time. That's just big time stuff, especially with Shakatoni and the other end. His name's escaping me. I apologize, but I know they have two really good bookend defensive ends. And for them not to be a factor at all is definitely huge and just a big plus, and shows you already the growth of this offensive line. And, it's just getting started. What's crazy is that this game, even though it was kind of in hand pretty much all throughout, Penn State never felt out of it at the same time. It was really weird. It was handled, but at the same time, Penn State fought hard. Ohio State kept them in it with some missed field goals, some missed opportunities down at the red zone. Hopefully get those things cleaned up, but you can't complain about a 2-score win on the road against, I don't care what anybody says, the second most talented team in the Big Ten. So that's big time. Get you excited for the rest of the season. Not a lot on the schedule that worries you. You see Indiana, they'll be tough, they'll play tough. And then, of course, you have Michigan. But other than that, the road seems pretty clear for these guys, and they're on a mission. Justin Fields is on a mission. These receivers, their offensive line. The only thing that gets you a little worried is the secondary, which, like a light bulb went off in James Franklin's head. Like, okay, let's try these corners. These guys haven't been tested. I know it's only game 2, but throw at them. Jeff Okudah's not there. Damon Arnett's not there. Shaun Wade, even though he's there, he's playing on the outside for the first time. Attack it. And they had a lot of success doing that. I don't know if they're going to go outside. They're going to change up the scheme a little bit and get rid of that single high safety. Maybe bring over, 2 safeties now. Because I don't know if the corners are as locked down as they were. But maybe Sean will get it right. We'll see if they want to ride it. This is the time, though, too, with the schedule the way it is that you can keep that. You're going to see a lot of teams try to attack them, try to attack those corners, and say, okay, this is Ohio State's weakness. Let's go at them. But those will be by lesser teams, so you hope that those are the reps that they need to get right and get ready for this home stretch for the Big Ten championship and potentially college football playoff. So that's the only thing. Shaun Wade got torched. I mean, it's pretty simple. Dotson torched him. And, it's definitely game film that he's probably going to want to do away with, but it's something you can learn from and hopefully get better at, and I put all my faith in Kerry Combs to get it right. The defensive line, incredible. I know I touched on it a little bit in the early part of it, but Tommy Togia, Haskell Garrett are just eating people alive. That was Jonathan Cooper's best game, I think, of his career. I really do. He was just wrecking havoc. Sean Clifford was off his spot all night, and Ohio State just did a great job. Great job all around. So not much you can complain about. Biggest test of the season. You scored pretty much 40 points. Should have been at least 44. The refs and the Penn State home clock operator giving them 6 points, but you cannot leave that game and not be happy with what you saw, especially with that offense, especially with that D-line and the linebackers. The only thing that you hope gets tightened up is the corners, but just an incredible job, and it just shows you what this offense and what Ryan Day can do. They can beat you any way they want. Week 1, Justin Fields ran the ball, I think, over 10 times at least, and was the team's leading rusher. And then this week has 1 rush. I mean, they can do it however they want to you, and they still got over 200 yards rushing. Still balanced. He was money. It was just picture-perfect performance from him. And I like that, obviously, to continue as the schedule kind of gets a little easier in the part of November. So 2-0, Ohio State 2-0. Rutgers, night game next week. Don't know why it's a night game, but it is what it is. Best chance about being 2-0. Chance to go 3-0. Fundamental 5. Fundamental 5 did not do so hot. 1-4. UCF saved me from going over. Went from being 5-0 to almost over. But you take those lumps. Did not expect Michigan to get absolutely hammered by Michigan State. Super weird. They didn't get hammered, but they got punched in the mouth, losing by 3 points to a Michigan State team that's not very good. I still don't think it's very good. And then LSU they absolutely got punched in the mouth by Auburn. An absolute choke job. And the over of my Tulane game did not hit. So things didn't work out, but next week we bounce back. We bounce back next week. We find some games, find some winners for you, and we get going. So next week, I'll see you guys on Friday previewing Rutgers, what should be a nice game, especially to have some guys get some young guys out there and play with some depth, and we'll be loving to see that, seeing all the freshmen and young guys that we're excited about. Hopefully get Justin out of there soon so that they can finish that up. So I will see you all on Friday. 2-0, man. The first hurdle is climbed. Now we go to Rutgers. Big Rutgers. I'll see you all on Friday. Peace.